I don't think that the goal was to hire outside of the country. The goal was to hire the best setter we could find.
My name is Tonde Katiyo. I'm the head Routesetter at the Seattle Bouldering Project, and I've been here for about 3-4 months now.
Tonde has an amazing vision for what he wants to do in the gym. There's also a lot that he wants to do in the gym, and I really respect that he is going to phase that over a long period of time. From where we were when he started here to where he's going to be 6 months, 12 months after that, we're going to go really, really long ways. He's going to go from single V grades to color circuit grades that don't have V grades attached to them. He's going to introduce a lot of really cool ideas into the bouldering gym that I think will be a much better experience for people who are new to climbing and people who've been climbing for decades. When he first told us he wanted us to build volumes, we were thinking, okay, we can build a dozen volumes or so, but he wants more than a dozen volumes on each wall. And what he's done with volumes here, I would have never imagined it. I don't think many other people would have.
We built 270 volumes, which we designed all related to each other in a way. There's like a mathematical symmetry to them. So we can assemble them and combine them in different ways, and then we also scheme the colors so that they'd look nice. We ordered a bunch of new holds, and in terms of holds I tried to order as much as possible stuff that we didn't have. And again, sometimes stuff I didn't necessarily like, but I thought was different or interesting in comparison to what we had. I also wanted to get rid of the tape because, well, several reasons. One, I personally think it's ugly, even though I do think it can be functional, but mostly it's not either ecological or economical, and most importantly, it gets in the way of the setting process. I want myself or the setters to be just focused on movement, and and when you're moving tape all the time, it gets in the way. It slows things down, and that bothered me. So it's several reasons that, so we've been experimenting and trying, because both with or without tape has problems. But all in all, I prefer without, and people have reacted pretty well to it. So yeah, we're gonna give it a try. Downstairs, I am trying to introduce circuits, which I guess is pretty common in Europe. So by circuits, I mean that all the boulders within a given range will be set with the same color of holds. So to give you an example, all the boulders that are V0 to V2 will all be yellow holds. The reason I think that's interesting is, firstly, it doesn't interfere with the way people climb now. Like, if they just want to climb, chase numbers, and they can just look at the labels and chase numbers, which is fine. But if they want to train, you can tell them to just climb all the yellow boulders, if that's your level, and it'll be a good workout. It's easy, and then we guide them. We try and set all the boulders with different styles and different feels and different types of moves, and so it pushes them to try stuff they maybe wouldn't go towards naturally, like the V4 in the corner that they don't really like doing. But because it's the right color and they're trying to do them all, well, they're gonna, hopefully it gets caught up in the game. They get caught up in the game, and yeah, they want to try. One idea I was really interested in was introducing a training wall, so an open space that has no set routes on it, just a bunch of holds. The reason I personally thought that was interesting is that I felt like if we set everything, we turn the members into just consumers. They come and they just climb what we give them. But I also like the idea of them coming in and being able to play and make up their own stuff, use their imagination, and So I wanted to create an area for them to be able to do that. Plus it doubles up as so many other things. It's a great place to warm up. If you want to do endurance, you can do longer sequences much more conveniently. It's very easy to fall into just the ease of making everything comfortable and easy and pleasant, but when you actually climb outside, it's more a challenge of having to deal with a given situation that's on the rock. And so the trick is indoors, we create the given situation. And I wanted to make sure that we weren't being too biased by our preferences or, so an easy one is it's very rare to find tiny footholds in a climbing gym. When you go outside, you're amazed at how small the footholds are. Indoors, we always make them like, yeah, they're small, but it's okay. And in my opinion, that's going to produce poorer climbers. You're not going to practice your skills at as high a level. So just making sure, like, as much as possible, we represent the diversity that climbing can offer. And so just that idea in itself is a huge challenge.
When you change things in a gym, people react to it. Sometimes good and sometimes bad. One of the coolest things that totally exemplifies the way that Tonde works here is he recently started color coordinating routes. So we used to have all different hold colors on any given route, and then he made all of, any one route would be only one color. So there'd be a red route and a blue route and then a green route. And I asked him the question, well, why don't we get rid of the tape? Because it's not really necessary if you color coordinate the routes with holes. And he said, well, that's exactly what we want the members to ask. In other words, he wants people to be part of the process of changing the route setting in the gym. And that's amazing.
When I arrived, I brought changes. And because people were used to a certain thing and there was a big change at one point, I think some people were a little upset, or maybe not upset, but disconcerted. And so, but it was like when I arrived, and things seemed to have smoothed out, and I've been trying to be attentive to what's going on in the gym. I do work for them. It's about their experience and them having a good time. So it's not about me trying to apply something or tell them this is climbing or whatever. It's finding the balance between bringing them as much enjoyment and I guess a good workout, all the things they look for when they come to the gym, but has to be a balance between also, it's like eating spinach, it's good for you. Not everybody likes it, so yeah.
We could go on and...
Okay, let me start again. Okay, I'm gonna wing this. It might not make any sense.
Okay.
And the goal in the long run would be, no, that doesn't make any damn sense. This is such a hard question to answer. It's a really hard question to answer. You should just put together like a bunch of clips of me failing to answer this question.
It'll be on the
speak for
end.
itself.